Let me talk a little bit about this merger. Good evening.
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right, I like that outfit. Hey, listen, I was listening to your first caller. I was listening to some callers last night, and I heard some other people call and say, well, you know what they say about me. But, Bob, it's election time. Sheriff coming up for election, Commonwealth Attorney coming for election. I put my money where my mouth is. I got a tape of what I've been taping over the last few months, I told you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put up a shut up. I say that they know what's going on. They don't care. They sit up here and do what they want to do to this community because they have power. And some people just say, well, because who they are, they believe in them and don't believe in just the everyday citizen. So I want to make a challenge to those who are going to vote for Mr. Perry and Mr. Bushnell. I want to challenge them to come up on their television show, listen to this tape, and let the community listen to these tapes I got at the same time, which court officials are speaking for themselves. And then they make their mind up. And I guarantee you, Bob, they won't accept this challenge.
I guarantee they won't either. They're not going to come up here and do that.
And they won't do it in the court, Bob. What I'm saying, though, I've got this.
Well, that's a different setting. You get in a court, well, if you sue someone, you force them in a position, they got to sit there and listen to it. They got to react to it.
We go to court March the 25th at 9 o'clock.
But you're going on, what are you going to court on?
Because I called that judge what I've been calling him the whole time, a liar.
March the 25th?
Yes, sir, at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, well, that's going to be interesting.
I've got numerous citizens, I've got documentation, I've got recordings of the magistrate, the court officials, and everybody else saying these crazy things that they're not supposed to say, and they can't deny that.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting day.
If it's a level playing field, and people want to make their mind up, listen to the facts, let it speak for itself, Mike L. shut up, but on the 25th, like I said, I want the public to pay attention. Do not let me continue to go into a courthouse that I'm not supposed to go into according to the laws itself that says about conflict of interest.
Yeah, now the 25th, which court are you going into, Martinsville or county?
Circuit Court, Henry County Circuit Court.
Henry County, and is that from the appeal of the 10 days?
Right, and the funny part is I'm calling the Commonwealth Attorney as one of my witnesses.
Right. Did you subpoena him?
That maybe it was best that he recused himself. The judge said he's not going to recuse himself. Went on, and I told him at the end of the trial, I thought that, you know, that it was unfair that he heard anything that had something to do with me, knowing the fact that I make this thing so public. And he told me that he didn't care what I had to say.
Well, I'm going to tell you
what I felt about him.
I know. I listened to the show last night. I've been out of work for at least 2 weeks, and I've been out of atonement, so to speak, what's been going on. But a lot of people upset with you being on the air and talking. But Mike, I let people know when you go into court, this thing's coming to a head. I'm not going to cut you off right here in midstream. I'm going to give you a chance we're going to proceed through this and see what happens, because I know people maybe get tired of hearing you. Maybe you do talk a little bit too much, too many channels.
I agree with that, Bob. I agree.
But we're getting to something now. We're getting down to the meat and potatoes of this thing. And I think it's very important that people follow this closely. So, Mike, don't wash yourself out with all these other channels and stuff. Just kind of keep us updated, at least on my show, so people can follow it, because this is a very interesting case. This is where you went into court and you've already made all these public allegations, and the judge held you in contempt because you called him a liar. And
then he said he had already read everything, and so, Bob, how could he have been fair? He already had said after he...
Yeah, and I'm not going to debate it. We're not going to try it here, but let me tell you one thing I think where you're in trouble. Even if you're right with what you're saying, 100%. I think if you go into court and call the judge a liar,
I told him I think he lies. If he can't back up what he's doing, then that's a lie.
I think you're going to find that
It wasn't disrespectful. I didn't jump up and root and holler. I just told him I don't think he'd tell the truth. I think you're lying in a minute. That's what I told him.
But when you accuse a judge of lying, and if it's true, I guess it's different.
Right, it's true though.
And if you can prove it, but when you normally go into court and tell a judge he's lying, that is contempt.
Let me tell you, Bob, I got something so clear on this cat here that it speaks for itself.
Well, and that's going to be interesting. And you make sure I'm there on the 25th.
He is a liar. I'll say that. I'm sorry to have to say that, Bob, because I respect the law.
You've already said it in public court, and you've been charged for it. And we're going to go for this is the hearing. Now, is this for a counsel hearing, or are you going to actually be tried on the 25th?
It's a hearing.
All right, what they'll do, they'll set the court date.
Right, and I'm also asking for representation. I'm also asking for a jury trial.
Yeah, yeah. Now, this is where it all comes out. So this is where it really gets interesting.
But Bob, I wonder how they're going to deny their own conversations. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, you know, I don't know, but I can tell you this: you're going into.
I'm also going to ask for it to be moved too.
Oh, ask for a change of venue?
Yeah, because Bob, like I said, the Commonwealth Attorney is going to be one of my witnesses and also a person I made a complaint against. You know, how can they beat?
Yeah. Now, do you know what you've got to show to get a change of venue? Don't you?
Well, I can show they have a conflict of interest.
No, that's well. No. Now, if you show a conflict of interest, then the judge will recuse himself, and you'll just get another judge. If you're talking about moving a trial outside the area, that's a whole different ballgame.
Right. I just don't want the official court officials in this jurisdiction having anything to do with my representation.
So you wouldn't trust Judge Williams's?
No.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, he's fair judge. He'll probably remove himself.
I'm just saying relationship-wise. I think it puts him in an unfair position.
He's very fair. He probably won't have a problem with that. And then they'll appoint somebody else.
Right. But I'm calling the Commonwealth Attorney as one of my witnesses, and I also have them take some of the assistant Commonwealth Attorney on tape too.
Hey, it's going to be the case of 2011. We built up to it, so we're ready.
What I want to say, I'm not going to get back on that. It's going to help a lot of folks in this community if this thing does pan out the way I say it, because a lot of people have been affected by this, and like you said, sometimes I go over their head with the conversation.
Well, and you wear it out.
Yeah, but you know what though, Bob? When you get up every day and they're taking your money, it wears you out too.
I know, but see, that's another problem with this case. Everybody says, well, why didn't he just pay his money? Let's move on. They don't understand the whole mat. But I'll tell you what, they will, because I'll follow this case, and I think I admire what you're doing.
Well, I thank you. And like I said, I get a lot of support too, though, Bob. I don't want people to think that everybody gets me. I get a lot of calls every day, people thanking me for the things I say, and I thank them for calling.
Hey, look, let me ask you, are you and Terry going horseback riding on the